What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Truth Addiction. This is the channel that deals with the disease of addiction and all the ways it manifests itself. I'm a recovering addict. My name is Brian. I suffer from a disease which is incurable, progressive, and unfortunately, sometimes fatal. It can, however, be arrested at some point, and recovery is then possible. Anyway, let me first start by saying I hope everyone's having a great day. It's a good day to be clean. Any day I'm not out there chasing the next one, and I'm clean and dealing with my issues without the use of drugs, is a good day. You know, weather's pretty nice here. Little like 75 degrees, little sun action here on the outskirts of Philadelphia. Bucks County, PA to be exact, right? And I just want to put out there, I appreciate the support. People have been watching the videos, you know. Just remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Help me carry this message that no addict need ever die seeking recovery, right? Because we're having a lot of deaths right about now, people. Fentanyl's killing, I just looked at the numbers a little bit ago. Fentanyl's killing about 200 people a day. 200 a day, man. That's a lot of fucking people. So I just, you know what we do here. Trying to carry this message of a 12-step recovery program. Mine, the one I chose, is Narcotics Anonymous. And I'll state it like I do in all the videos. There's a lot of great 12-step programs out there, anonymous programs, and they all basically have the same steps. You know, except for the first one, it switches up a little bit. You know, in Narcotics Anonymous, the first step is we admitted we were powerless over our addiction, that our lives have become unmanageable. And then in Alcoholics Anonymous, it's we admitted we were powerless over alcohol and our lives have become unmanageable. Gamblers Anonymous, we admitted that we were powerless over gambling and our lives have become unmanageable. So on and so forth. I just like to put that out there every video just so you guys get the gist of it. That I'm not here promoting Narcotics Anonymous. I'm promoting all 12-step recovery programs because I believe for somebody with the disease of addiction, the spiritual principles contained in all these steps is the best way to treat the disease of addiction. It's just my opinion. And I've seen it work for tens of thousands of people, man. So anyway, today's video is the 7th part of a 12-step series that I'm doing, corresponding with the 12 steps of a recovery program. Like I said, mine's Narcotics Anonymous. And what we do here is we read from the basic text of Narcotics Anonymous, right? And like I said, today's the 7th video, so it's the 7th step. The 7th step is we humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings, right? I'm going to read the step. I'm going to pause reading, give you my experience, and maybe I can help you, help me, help you, help me, help you. Whether you're struggling, or maybe you're not, maybe you're in the program, maybe you're in the 12-step program that you're in, maybe you're on step 7. Maybe something I say you can relate to. Maybe you'll have a aha moment. Maybe you can leave a comment on the step that we're doing and give me an aha moment. Because I'm always willing to learn, boy. Anyway, with that said, let's get this shit started. Step 7. Let me get some coffee real quick. Hey, just real quick. Coffee is an important part of recovery. It's an essential to any 12-step meeting you go to. Just saying. All right. Step 7. We humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. Character defects or shortcomings are those things that cause pain and misery in all our lives. If they contributed to our health and happiness, we would not have come to such a state of desperation. We had to become ready to have God, as we understood him, to remove these defects. I want you to listen to that line right there for all my atheists out there, or for all my people out there that practice different religions, that ain't with the mainstream. You know what I'm saying? I myself is an atheist, but I respect all religions and I respect people's beliefs. This is not a religious program, but it can be if you want it to be. Right there it says, we had to become ready to have God, as we understood him, remove these defects. Now for some people, the way they understand God is a deity. It's Jesus, it's Allah, it's Buddha, so on and so on. For me, God as I understand him is my 12-step program as a whole. I take the letters of God, G-O-D, and to me it's just good, orderly direction, right? I became ready to have my program by working these steps and having a sponsor guide me through these steps. I became ready to have these defects of character and my shortcomings removed, right? Just wanted to put that out there because I know sometimes that God word bugs people out. All right. Having decided that we want God to relieve us of the useless or destructive aspects of our personalities, we have arrived at the 7th step. We couldn't handle the ordeal of life all by ourselves. It wasn't until we made a real mess of our lives that we realized we couldn't do it alone. That right there, that's a hard thing for a human being to grasp, right? That you have an aspect of your life, and here we're talking about as it pertains to an addiction, right? An addiction to anything, really, to be honest with you. I mean, we talk about drugs here, and alcohol is a drug. Sorry for people who think it ain't, but alcohol is definitely a drug, right? But it's hard to grasp that concept as a human, especially as an adult human being. Who wants to think that they can't do something on their own, right? That they need somebody else's help to help them live. And here, man, we're dealing with life or death situations, right? Like I just said, 200 people a day are dying from fentanyl alone. That's not counting all the crack, cocaine, heroin, whatever the fuck else you want to. People getting drunk, crashing their car, killing somebody, killing themselves. You see what I'm saying? It's hard to come to terms with that. That, we don't have willpower to just stop and fix what we're doing and be better human beings, right? We have to come to this thing where it's like, you have to understand that it's not about willpower, right? Like, you have a disease that affects your brain. Your decision making's all fucked up. There's all kinds of shit fucked up. Your reward system's all fucked up. You've been overdosing yourself with fucking dopamine forever. Whatever it is. Motherfuckers get high off of shopping for sneakers. Motherfuckers get high off of pulling slot machine handles. People get high off of meth, cocaine, heroin, Colt 45, a fucking nice big fat glass of wine. Everybody getting high on some shit, man. Right? When you have, and when you take that to an obsessive and compulsive level, that's where we find the insanity. And that's what the disease of addiction is filled with. A whole lot of fucking insanity, right? But anyway, it's hard to admit that. That I can't do this alone. I'm going to need help. And that's why so many of us stay out there so long. We keep using and fucking our lives up because we can't grip that, man. It's a rough joint. And unfortunately, some of us die, man. You know? Anyway, by admitting this, we achieved a glimpse of humility. And what it's saying there is, by admitting the fact that we can't do it alone, we achieve a glimpse of humility, right? This is the main ingredient of step 7. Humility is a result of getting honest with ourselves. We have practiced being honest since step 1. We accepted our addiction and powerlessness, because that's step 1, right? We admitted we were powerless over our addiction that allows us to become unmanageable. We found a strength beyond ourselves and learned to rely on it. That's some step 2, kind of step 3 shit right there. We found that power that we needed to be plugged into in step 2, right? We came to believe that a power greater than ourselves can restore us to sanity, right? And then going into step 3, we make a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understand Him, which basically all that means is we realize 1, 2, and 3. Steps 1, 2, and 3. Step 1, we realized that we were powerless by ourselves, that we could not stay clean alone. Step 2, we found the power. What was the power? Going to meetings, being around other recovering addicts, and working these steps of a 12-step program, right? That was the power. Step 3, we made that decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of the God of understanding, or the power that you found in that program, if you will, right? That's what it's talking about. Then it goes on to say, we examined our lives and discovered who we really are. To be truly humble is to accept and honestly try to be ourselves. Now what it's talking right there, we examined our lives and discovered who we really are, that's talking about 4th and 5th step shit. You remember that. If you go back, you know what I mean? You can go back and check those videos out. I just did step 4 and 5 not too long ago. You know what I mean? That's where we really go in deep and make a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves, right? So basically what it's saying is we 1 through 6 this shit, really. Now we're ready to move on here. All right, so none of us is perfectly good or perfectly bad. We are people who have assets and liabilities. Most importantly, we are human. Humility is as much a part of staying clean as food and water are to staying alive. You best believe it, homie. Dude, in order for a recovering addict of any sort, recovering alcoholic, recovering gambler, whatever you want to call it, but I'm just going to keep it on addict. When I say addict, man, listen, man, I'm at a point in my recovery, I'm 7 years clean. I haven't done a drug in 7 years. I haven't drank, I haven't done a drug, I haven't popped a pill, I haven't smoked a joint. I ain't this shit, man. I hardly even pop fucking Motrin in this motherfucker, bro. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, I'm trying to keep this on addiction in a generalized way, man. It's like I say at the end of every video, man. The disease of addiction is broad and outside of the realm of just using drugs, man. You know what I'm saying? So having that humility is very important for somebody who's trying to recover, who's trying to find themselves, work on themselves, change from the inside, right? Because humility goes a long way, man. For real. All right, so yeah, it is. It's important. It's just as important as fucking food and water, man. When it comes to recovery, man. I agree. As our addiction progressed, we devoted our energy towards satisfying our material desires. All other needs were beyond our reach. We always wanted gratification of our basic desires. The 7th step is an action step. And it is time to ask God for help and relief. So right there it's saying, this is the action step, right? In step 6, right? Because step 6 says, you know, we're ready to have our defects of character removed, We became entirely ready to have our defects of character removed, right? And it's kind of like we're ready to have them removed, right? And none of this shit happens overnight. But this is step 7, meaning this is the action step. This is where we actually ask the God of our understanding to remove these defects of character, right? Let's humbly ask him. Well, you better humbly ask. You know what I mean? Because guess what? I don't know about y'all, man, but I've done some foul shit in my active addiction. I definitely need to get humble. Because, I need to be forgiven. I need redemption. I need to be able to forgive others. And you have to be in a humble state to do these things, man. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we have to understand that our way of thinking is not the only way. Other people can give us direction. When someone points out a shortcoming, our first reaction may be defensive. We must realize that we are not perfect. There will always be room for growth. If we truly want to be free, we will take a good look at input from fellow addicts. And shit, as far as I'm concerned, from just people in your life too, man. Whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? It could be your employer. It could be just a friend you got. It could be shit, man. It could be anybody, man. If you keep your mind open enough, boy, you have to have an open mind throughout the day. Because if you don't, if your mind's in a closed kind of thing, you won't even hear a message when it's being delivered to you. And that message, something that you hear that could change your life, that can come from anybody, dude. Anybody, dude. Right? So, if the shortcomings we discover are real, and we have a chance to be rid of them, we will surely experience a sense of well-being. Some will want to get on their knees for this step. Yeah. Some will be very quiet, and others will put forth a great emotional effort to show intense willingness. The word humble applies because we approach this power greater than ourselves to ask for the freedom to live without the limitations of our past ways. Many of us are willing to work this step without reservations, on pure blind faith, because we are sick of what we have been doing and how we are feeling. Whatever works, we go all the way. Dig this, man. Now, I worked this step like 3 years ago, right? Like I said, I've been clean for 7 years, right? This is definitely a marathon for me and not a fucking 50-yard dash, right? I don't think anybody can just change overnight. You have to go through these steps. With age comes wisdom. With experience in life comes wisdom. You know what I'm saying? And, learning about the disease of addiction, man. You start to gain some wisdom, right? And when I went and did my 4th and 5th step into the 6th, right? When I wrote that, when I did that searching and fearless moral inventory of myself, man, and doing step 6, when I was writing a list of assets and character defects, right? I got some fucking shortcomings, man, that still are there today. But guess what, man? Some of them ain't, bro. Or at least they're not so profound. They're not like just glaring anymore. You know what I mean? I can recognize them when I'm like in it, when I'm actually doing the behavior that I consider to be a shortcoming. I can recognize it and like come back off it faster, at least. Some of them are just non-existent because of the work I did, because of this step work, right? Like I got stuff like, impatient, right? Being impatient is definitely a shortcoming, man. It's like, I want it now. I want it now. I don't care, fool. Give it to me now, right? Impatient. And like, I've become better. I have gained patience with things. I have. But I'm still an impatient motherfucker. It seems that impatient shit is just built into a fucking addict, man. If you got the disease of addiction, that impatient shit is just built the fuck into you for some reason. It might be the hardest thing for you to overcome, if you ever do. But I definitely have gotten better with it, right? I can be too hard on myself, man. A lot of us do that. There could be like 10 good things about us, and then there's just that one thing, and we just focus on it. Like, yeah, all that other shit is good, but this one thing here, you know what I mean? I'm a piece of shit for this. You know what I mean? Like, it's just what we do, man. And, I've gotten better with that. I got shortcomings of just, fear can take over, man. Now, I've definitely got better with fear taking over my life, whatever it is. Because fear is in all kinds of shit. All through our lives on a daily basis, fear can just grip us, whatever it is. Am I good enough? Am I gonna still have my job next week? Are my plans that I'm planning for gonna work out? You know what I mean? All that crazy shit. Some people, man, get feared the fuck up to the point where they don't even want to come the fuck out of their house, man. For real. Fear can be real. But through doing these steps, I can tell you, man, I have become not totally fearless, but I have become really fearless. In the sense of not like tough guy fearless. Fearless in the sense of like, yo, I know I'm doing the right thing. I know that I am trying to make the best proper decisions I can make. I know that I have a program in my life. I know that I'm following these spiritual principles and that I'm going to be okay. No matter how bad it looks, I'll get through this. And I'll get through it clean. Clean. That's a big deal, right? You got shortcomings. I got shortcomings like bad long-term fucking decisions. I got, losing myself in relationships. That's been a huge one for me. You know what I'm talking about? You get in a relationship and all of a sudden you don't know who the fuck you are anymore. It's the focus just becomes on them. How do I make them happy? How do I be who they want me to be? And the next thing you know, you don't even know who the fuck you are anymore. And a little bit of time goes by and here you go, all ass the fuck out, ignored like 100 red flags. You know what I'm saying? That's a shortcoming, motherfucker. And it's something I had to work on. It's something I'm still working on. Because if we don't work on shit like that, all we do is we move from person to person, right? And it becomes like you're just hooking up with the same person with a different face and a different name. But it's the same person. That's definitely a shortcoming. And I know that just ain't a shortcoming for me. I know a lot of you motherfuckers, boy. A lot of you motherfuckers, boy, been in them, them Jones, them relationship Jones. Let's just call it that. I don't eat healthy. I obsess compulsive over food, man. That's definitely a shortcoming. That's gonna fucking catch up with me later on in life, man. You know what I mean? I just obsess over things that are bad for me, right? How about being able to realize, could you imagine being able to like, I want to do that thing, whatever the thing is. That could be a person or a place or a thing, whatever you want to call it. I want to do that thing, but that's not beneficial to me. So you know what? I won't do that. And then you just let it go. That would be fucking amazing. But I can't do that, man. I gotta sit there. Well, I could twist it this way, and if I do it this way, it'll work out. Maybe if I don't do it this way, I could do it that way, and then it'll be, man, it's all fucking bullshit. Once you realize that, like, yo, that thing that's bad for you, that you're contemplating doing, whatever it is, once you realize, as soon as you're even contemplating it, you already know in the back of your head, this ain't gonna be beneficial. This is not gonna turn out well. But sometimes we still do it. So I gotta get better with that. Long-term decision making, you know what I mean? And what's another one? Like, I got this thing, I still got a little bit where like I always gotta be right. You know what I mean? Like I can't just I just can't let you win. Even if I know it's so fucking nice sometimes, and I've gotten better with this. I really have, and it's fucking great. When you can be standing there knowing that you're right in a certain situation or discussion you're having, and still just be like, oh yeah, I see it your way, cool, yeah, I totally get that. And you know what I mean? You just walk away stress-free. You know what I mean? Imagine getting in an argument with somebody and you can be able to just basically say some shit like, hey, you know what? Wait right here and I'll go fuck myself. You know, just have like a kind of good nature about you. Like, you know what? It's not that important. This isn't a fight I need to win. I don't need to stand on this. It's really not that important. You know what I mean? And I've gotten better with that, man. And, you know, just real quick, I guess, like, you know, people pleasing, man, was a big thing for me, man. Being able to just say no to somebody. Like, feeling like, because that stems from my addiction and my childhood and bringing up. Like, I always had to be like that chameleon. I felt like I had to get in where I fit in. Whatever you need me to be, I'm going to be, because I just want you to like me. I don't want to feel like an asshole. But guess what, man? Sometimes it's okay to say no. Like, yo, no, I can't do it. No, I'm not with you on that. You know what I mean? You're talking to somebody, they say some foul shit, and they're like, you know what I'm saying, man? You're down with that, right? You got to be like, nah, man, I don't agree with that, man. And guess what? You're going to lose some fucking friends and some people that you, well, at least that you thought were friends. You're going to lose some people when you start standing your ground. Be like, no, you know, I can't do it for you. You know, whatever it is. But those, I just wanted to run down to you in case you needed some ideas or you weren't sure what shortcomings were. Those things I just ran down, they're shortcomings. They're behaviors that I have worked on and that I am currently working on, right? And that was another one of my famous fucking rants. Sorry it took so long, man. Shit. Sometimes I just get hyped, bro. I'm feeling fucking frisky today, baby. We gotta go all the way deep. Fuck this surface level shit. We're trying to change over here, bro. We need to dive deep, man. Fuck all that, man. Anyway, this is our road to spiritual growth. We change every day. We gradually and carefully pull ourselves out of the isolation and loneliness of addiction and into the mainstream of life. This growth is not the result of wishing, but of action and prayer. I tend to meditate more in prayer, because like I just said, I'm not really a religious fellow, man. But prayer is good, for real. You better at least, if you ain't into a God as a deity, you better at least recognize to the universe that you ain't God. You see what I'm saying? The main objective of step 7 is to get out of ourselves and strive to achieve the will of our higher power. If we are careless and fail to grasp the spiritual meaning of this step, we may have difficulties and stir up old troubles. And boy, will you. I have personally experienced that. Trying to tell you. We have something in our literature that says, there is something in us that cries out for failure. And that another thing it says in our literature somewhere, our two most inherent enemies are apathy and procrastination. If one danger is being too hard on ourselves. I was just talking about it. That's one of my shortcomings, man. We tend to beat ourselves up, man. We gotta be able to come. It's all right to do some personal reflection, man. But yo, man, there's a point where you just gotta stop beating yourself up and go, hey, tomorrow's another day. I'm getting better little by little here. Not just ain't some just overnight shit. So it's important to know that, man. Sharing with other recovering addicts will help us to avoid becoming morbidly serious about ourselves. Accepting the defects of others can help us become humble and pave the way for our own defects to be relieved. Man, talk about it. Talk about it, book. Boy, let me tell you what learning how to be humble and learning how and what that's done for me and learning how to not so much want to be understood but to be understanding. And how it's helped me is, man, because it's so hard for me to judge anybody anymore. Can I do it? Yeah, but guess what? Even when I do it, I come off of it so fast, man, because all I see is me in them motherfuckers, bro. For real. Let's do a little test. A little challenge, if you will. I see all these motherfucking stupid ass challenges on TikTok and all this other shit. I got a challenge for you, motherfucker. Here's the challenge. The next time you're around that annoying motherfucker in your life, you know that person. You know that person. I can't stand James. That motherfucker gets on my nerves. Yo, your mother, your father, whatever it is. The next time you're around that person, look real close and tell me, you can leave it in the comments, tell me if you don't see yourself. Yeah. That's a challenge for you. God often works through those who care enough about recovery to help make us aware of our own shortcomings. We have noticed that humility plays a big part in this program and our new way of life. I was just saying that, man. It does, man. You have to walk. Man, it's like that old saying, man, walk softly with a big stick. Gotta be humble, bro. It's the best way to be, man. I'm telling you, I've come across people who are just so humble, man. They got all kinds of money, whatever it is. They got everything going on, man, but they're so humble, man. It is the greatest thing to come up on somebody and they're just so humble and understanding. Not to the point where they let people walk on them like a fucking doormat, but they just have a humble way about them. And it's fucking refreshing, man. They're rare and they're far and few between, man. They are, these people, but they are out here, man. And I'm trying to become that, man. Every day, I try to just become that humble person. Like, if not for the grace of God, there go I type of shit. We take our inventory, we become ready to let God remove our defects of character. We humbly ask to remove our shortcomings. This is our road to spiritual growth, and we will want to continue. We are now ready for step 8. That's the end of that. So anyway, man, I hope y'all got something out of that. I really do, man. And listen, if you're struggling out there, man, put that drug down. Put that thing down. Whatever got you like that, just put it down for a minute if you could, man. Whatever you got to do, man. Get into a rehab. Get into a detox. Get into a situation where you're not in that life. Just pull yourself from it for a minute, man. And once you can gather yourself and get clean, become abstinent from whatever that thing is, try a 12-step recovery program, man. Just try it. If you tried it before, try it again, man. Because I'm telling you, man, in my experience, I always see people come into meetings, man. You know what they say all the time? This is the last thing they raise their hand to share, and they go, this is the last thing I tried, and it's the first thing that worked. That's real shit, man. So if you got the disease of addiction, man, first of all, you got to put that drug down. You got to put that drink down. You got to put the shit down. And then bring yourself to a 12-step recovery meeting. Like I said, whatever one you want, man. It don't got to be Narcotics Anonymous, but you got to give yourself a break, man, because we can't keep becoming these statistics, man. I ain't trying to be one of these 100,000 overdose deaths a year. I'm not trying to be one of these 200 people a day that die from fentanyl overdose, dude. Just trying not to do it. I have the disease of addiction. It needs a treatment. And as far as I'm concerned, the best treatment for it is a 12-step anonymous program. Period. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this shit up. I'm going to wrap it up like I always do. Just remember this. Oh, wait, before I do that. Hit that like button. Comment. Hit that notification bell, man. Subscribe to the channel. Help me carry this message. All right, got that out the way. Now I'm going to end this shit. Just remember this. The disease of addiction, it's broad and it's outside of the realm of just using drugs. Keep coming back. More will be revealed. I'm out of here, bro.